live on YouTube and live on Instagram. So here we go. I just wish I had a better. Let's see. Did that make it better? Not really, but it doesn't really matter. Just share my screen. So this is the quarterly meeting. Let me share this. So this is the agenda. First, going live on Instagram and YouTube. I kind of tried to go live on TikTok too, but I think the live function is only for it's only for like selling things. So it kind of sucks, but oh well. We'll start with the intro, with like an intro question. We'll review the core values of Better Therapy Now. Then we'll review the full 5-year plan, which will have some revisions because now that I've been thinking through some things, I've always felt like the online course model makes the most sense, especially for where I'm at today. But we'll just revise some of the plans. And then I'll review all of the documents for the course. That portion is just trying to get an idea of what are the major tasks that need to happen first. Like I want to set this whole online course portion of the business like up in like at least 2 to 3 blocks. And I feel like the first block is figuring out where the pain point is for my ideal audience. Well, probably figuring out my avatar and what their pain point is, figuring out their dream outcome, and then coming up with an outline of the course and then completing that course. And that will be like the core offer. So just trying to figure out like at least the first step of that and having a good plan to get that done this quarter. Then while doing that, creating opportunities and obstacles list, so an O&O list. Let me put that initials in there too. Oops. O-N-O. Yeah, O&O list. And then we'll prioritize that list. And then we'll identify 3 to 4 major rocks. I think then we'll talk about like what problems we had last time while we review the 5-year plan. And kind of where we succeeded, where we like fail. We'll live in the past, and then we'll talk about the future. So we'll talk about that. But 3 to 4 rocks, and then milestones for each rock, and then next week's to-do list, and then we'll close out and then hit the gym. So first portion, why is this business important to me? I want to actually record this portion because I think number 1 is freedom, which I think is really common for a lot of people that are like doing side hustles or just kind of in this world in general, in the entrepreneurial world. I think that's what they're looking for, is freedom. But also it's important to me because I think it's being proactive about the future. What did I read? I read a book. It's not even that new. It's Daniel Priestley's Key Person of Influence. And that's one of the main points of that book. It has several points. Like it's kind of like a roadmap to become a key person of influence in whatever area that you're in. But he starts out the book talking about the future of the economy and saying that it's shifted because of technology. So it's like technology changed. So that means like, the economy and how we work and earn a living is going to change with that. And he talks about the best way to do this is to become a KPI, become a key person of influence in your area. It affords you freedom. It affords you the ability to live anywhere that you want. And he kind of writes this book to develop a roadmap to do that, to live that life. But I think he is right that in the future, and not even in the future, in the now, the economy, the way that people earn a living, especially like the highest income, like the highest paid workers, are probably going to be working either by themselves or in small teams, and they're going to be like influential in their field, and that's gonna like supersede or like kind of take over the old tradition of going to school, getting a degree, and then kind of beginning, like getting like a regular job sort of thing. So I think I agree with that. It makes sense. Reading the book, it just makes sense. Like it's convincing when he talks about it. So maybe it won't like 100% happen as severely as he talks about, um, because he feels like the old way of earning a living and having a career is completely dead. Another thing that he talks about that I think is interesting is that now I'm doing like a book review, but is that people and like even from now and moving forward are going to have several different types of jobs throughout their career. He talks about like his grandparents had like one job that they worked at for like 40 years, and then his parents had like maybe 4 or 5 jobs, but his sister had like 8 jobs and she was like in her 20s. Um, so I think that's true too. 'Cause that's true for me. I've worked so many jobs. I've worked at IHOP was probably my first like real job, but well, not really. I did a door-to-door sales, which I feel like is an ancient job, doesn't exist anymore, or at least exists in different forms for Top Gun promotions, selling like oil changes. After that, I became an RA, a resident assistant, which means that I was kind of the person in the dorms that like made sure people didn't drink or like break rules. So I was kind of, I don't know. I just did it because it came with free living, to be honest with you. Like I was like, I want my own room and I want to like live for free. So I'll like do walks and make sure people don't have alcohol. But honestly, we didn't even like look. But anyway, I did that job for like a school year. And then I worked at IHOP right after that job. Like while I was working that job, I transitioned and worked at IHOP and I got my first apartment, I remember. And I worked at IHOP for a long time. And I worked the front desk at the dorm still. And then after that, while I was working at IHOP, I started working with foster kids in group homes. Did that for a while. And then I went to the Army. And that was my job forever. I didn't work anything else but Army. And then since I've been out, I really have had one job, like for it's like the same owner of 2 different companies. And this was interesting in that it was Healing Human Services and RY Services. And they both do like kind of social work slash behavioral health type work. But it's interesting because this is the first time that I've ever worked for like an actual entrepreneur who was a visionary and who like saw herself as a visionary and like gave birth to something like to a business and just has been helping it, like making it grow and making different moves and managing different relationships. And the way that she approaches everything kind of got me, like I got to see firsthand how an entrepreneur operates, which was really interesting, has been really interesting and still is interesting. So was it like 5 or 6 jobs I think that I've worked? Anyway, um, I think yeah, in the future, people like say if I had kids, they'd probably have like 10 jobs by the time they're my age, or 12, or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, being proactive about the future. So trying to become a key person of influence in the world of mental health, mental fitness, things like that, even behavioral health, or even like self improvement. I don't know. I guess that's part of this meeting to figure out what I'm going to try to become a KPI in. What else? So freedom, proactive, and I guess like within freedom, like financial freedom. So this would be like freedom from management. So like, because I think there's 2 types of freedom. Freedom from like being managed. The thing about working now is that at any point, if the business kind of goes bad, they'll just fire you, and you won't find out that you're fired until it's like the last minute. At least, especially like if you're working for a small business, maybe you'll get a severance package. Maybe you won't. The severance package will probably suck, to be completely honest with you. And then there's financial freedom, like trying to put an operation in place so that it's operating. And then I'm just thinking of new ways to help it grow. That's like a position that I would want to be in. So I think those are probably the top 3 reasons. Um, yeah. Oh, I would say family. I think that a lot of this started because I think my number of trying to get to 475K a year is because I wanted to be able to afford surrogates, which cost like $100,000 a pop. But that's kind of changed a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if I'm as passionate about that anymore. Only because like I'm getting older every day, and it's like, wow, do I want infants at 40 years old? I don't know. So those are the 4 main reasons why this business is important to me: freedom from management, being proactive about the future, financial freedom, and family. Because even with that, I could be there for my family more. Like I wouldn't be financially stressed. I'd be like more free. I could just like kind of buy my way out of my current problems, which would be really nice. Anyway, Okay. So that's very good. Core values. So before I had five core values, what was it? It was discipline, resilience, creativity, purpose, and then gratitude, which I think gratitude is still. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what I wanted to do in terms of core values here. Part of me feels like five core values are too many. Um, like, do I need to have purpose there? Are all these core values? I think the number one core value is discipline. I think that's like the number one core value that I have. And then like after that would be resilience, only because I feel like bad things are going to happen. And I don't want when things get tough to fall down and not get back up. So I think so. I guess resilience is more like fear based, not even fear based, but like just saying, I hope that, or it's important to me to bounce back when things get hard. I think is the thing. Discipline is just kind of every day. And then after that, the next three are interesting. I think creativity is really important only because I don't think I have a lot of ingenuity about me. I think I look for routine. So I think like when it comes to creativity, that's like something that I'm trying to achieve every day and like remind myself of. And that's why it's a core value because I recognize its importance. Like I have to be creative if I want to provide something new to the market. Um, Purpose is when it comes to I think purpose is the main one that I'm kind of iffy about because I don't know the way I looked at purpose was like, okay, if I'm doing something that I feel like is my authentic purpose, then I'll be more passionate about it. So the real thing about purpose was that that was like a gateway to being more passionate about what I'm doing or finding something that I want to do. So I think it's still valid. It still makes sense to have purpose there because purpose is closely connected to um, passion, right? And create. What's creativity connected to? Oh yeah, I said curiosity. But these are almost sub resilience, never give up, and then discipline is just like every day. Slash, because I would say consistency, because I think that's what is the thing. Like I have that's a really core belief is that I believe in consistency. Doing something consistently over time is more important than doing it like intensely. So I think intensity can lead to burnout. And I think intensity is inevitable. Like sometimes you're just going to be really, really motivated and intense about something every once in a while. But the consistency is what really, really makes a difference. And then gratitude is just, I guess, enjoying the ride overall. I think this is fun. Um, I feel like any day I could like get fired randomly if we're not making enough money or if my performance, a lot of my position is very performance based. So like, oh, okay, I could just randomly not make as much money as I want to, and then or as the company wants me to, and then there's like, you're not providing value. We have to part ways, and it's like I just have to accept that. That's just the kind of the way that employment works. It's the reality of it. It always shocks me when I'm talking to people and they act like they can't get fired from their job. I'm like, yes, you can. Like, what are you talking about? You definitely can. The business will still survive without you. They'll just pay somebody like more, or probably less, and get somebody that's competent and maybe suffer for a while until that person catches up or until they find the right person. Um, so yeah, just enjoying the ride is where gratitude comes in. And honestly, I would say gratitude is probably the thing that I do most consistently, especially with my oak journal. The oak journal helps me like stay grateful the most because it makes me pause and list three things I'm grateful for every single day, which I think is really good. So yeah, core values. That's kind of the idea behind those. Um, Let me zoom this in. Can I zoom this in? I'm not even sure. Here we go. Let me put 125. There we go. Perfecto. All right. That's core values. All right. Now let's get into the meat of or one of the, I guess, meaty sections of this. The 5-year plan. Let me stop sharing. And I think this is going to change a lot, but So last time we did this, we said net. So 5 years from now, we wanted net profit. Basically, we wanted three verticals, three different verticals, and net profit at 3.2 million. The group practice coming in at 1.5. I don't know how it says total to run business is 240. That doesn't really make sense, but I think 1.5 was gross. And let me see. So this was based off of 12 clinicians. Average 25 clients per clinician with 12 clinicians at $100 per session average. So this is thinking insurance based. I'm gonna put this in here. So that's important to know when it comes to group practice. Like, is this going to be insurance based? Because everybody that I talk to about cash based practices, like they tend to like not believe in them. I think if you niche it right, you can do it. My sister-in-law knows a sex therapist that has a cash-based practice and charges a lot of money. It makes really, really good money. So I don't know, like cash. I think it's possible, but it just depends on what your niche looks like. Go on Psychology Today. There's like really like so there aren't really any real niches out there. There's just like they niche as much as their license is. Like if they're an LCSW or an LPC, then they're just like depression, anxiety. They basically list every single condition, and I don't know why therapists think that's like smart. I don't understand why none of them really get specific and say I just do this and that is it. You know, like this specific type of client and that's it. Some of them will say like there's family therapists, but I think that's not even niched. And there's like child therapists. I don't think that's niche because there's too many. There's too many child. Like it's almost like every other therapist is a child therapist, and then family therapy. I think it decreases your competition a little bit because there's a specific license for family therapists. But I don't know. I still don't think it's niche. But anyway, I think insurance based is a little bit. I think you'll get a little bit more consistent flow of clients if you work it right and network it right. But I think this will be very much in line with the online course subscription model. I think it'll be very much in line with that because I mean, if the mental fitness, like procrastination, and we grow that and it becomes useful, you know, we figure out how to make that useful, then the individual sessions will just be like for that because that's directly what it leads into. And then those two things will be very closely linked. And then we could just offer mental health therapy like as something else, like as more, you know. Anyway, so I'm thinking 50-50 split with therapists here. So if we maintain that 25 client per clinician with 12 clinicians 100, then we're looking at 1.5 and then 50-50 split. So we'd come out, the business would take 720, net income 1.5, and the owner take home 300K per year. Maybe that's too much. It looks like that's definitely too much, but that's where we're at with that. Online course subscription model. So this is probably what's going to change the most because, yeah, this is online, but I'm thinking available 4 to 5 instructors, 25 courses. I mean, that makes sense. And video editor, producer. Number of subscribers needed 5,700. But I don't say what the average amount is. Let me see if I can find on my phone. My calculator. Okay, so if it's 5 times 5,700, that's 28,000. I'm thinking of net income 822 times 12. That's not even close to that. So I wonder what the what I was thinking. That's one thing I should have looked at. I didn't look at how much the subscribers would pay. Net income 822. How do we get to that? Well, half for owner. Let me see. 822,000 divided by 5,700 equals $144. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way. Totally plan. 10 quarterly planners tailored to specific populations, 10 contract relationships secure. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. Okay, so I think the subscription model is what's going to change. Maybe it's 4 to 5 instructors, maybe not. I don't really know. But we're thinking, okay, 5 courses available for free. At least one course published monthly. We'll just say one course published monthly. 5 courses could be for free, great. 10 quarterly planners, yep. 10 contracts, let's secure, that makes sense. I can see 5.7 subscribers. That's fine. 5700 times 8, 12. That makes sense. And it's probably going to be some type of tier, but we'll say that at, I think it has to be more than 5,700 then. It has to be like, I don't know, what's 820? I was trying to get to 800,000. Okay. I want to be 5. It's a little bit better. Okay. So the numbers have to change. 12,000, right? So let's try at $5 per month is what we want, right? This is, yep. And then we're thinking with that, then we have not that much, but 720. And I don't know what owner take home would be. But we're thinking if we can get 12,000 subscribers, and that would be done by having like 10 contracts. And when I say contracts, I mean like having a relationship with like, you know, all of the employees that work for Chase Bank, right, in Arizona, and having them pitch that to them, or all the students that go to Glendale Community College, and then pitching this to them, like having some way of pitching this to them through email so that you can get it in front of, 20,000 people quick, right? Like having that kind of relationship where they can either offer it to them as a discount where they pay $1 and the student pays like 4 or something like that, right? And then, yeah, they get that. And then I get, then I'm able to get 12,000 subscribers. Because I think if the service goes up and we launch it and I'm able to get one course a month, then that targets a specific population. So it's saying like mental health, productivity, and time management for college students, right? Then as long as we get it in front of, say we can get it in front of 500,000 people, I think 12,000 would subscribe eventually if it's around for 5 years. And it's like year after year, month after month, people are seeing it, then you're going to get people here and there that stay with it and continue to watch it, continue to benefit from it, and things like that. So I think that's a possibility. Anyway, I don't know what the other take home is. It's just a question. Okay, that's how we want to structure. So that's the online subscription model. I think this is a big one. I think this will be like number one. I have a lot of faith in this one. This one, it just looks good. It looks really good. Okay. This IOP only happens if the first two are doing really well. I don't really see because I think it would it's low overhead. Um, and another thing that I've realized is that you need a lot. We're opening up an OTC at work, so I'm gonna get to see firsthand for the second time kind of how these things work. But I'll see a little bit more behind the scenes. So this will be fine tuned later. But right now, these are the numbers, and they don't really make any sense. Like 12 clients per day, 5 days a week. Like I think the one that we were talking about buying has like 40 clients, and they're losing money. They're losing like $80,000 a month. So I don't really understand how that's happening. But I think a lot of it is because they're trying to get the insurance to pay, and the insurance isn't paying, things like that. So the IOP I think is kind of like up in the air, and I kind of don't like it as much. So that's kind of how this looks. I don't know how year 4 I'm at 300 and almost 400,000, and I jump up to like 900. That's kind of crazy. But anyway, let's see. So year 4, 1.7. Where's the online subscription model? So to me, that's like number one. Well, I think the group practice and the subscription model courses are like number 1 and 2. 20 courses available with 3 instructors, 4,000 subscribers. We need way more, but I'm not going to mess with that right now. No, I'll mess with it. I have another document that like gives the details of all these, but I'm not getting into that. Like I'll have to just go back into that and do it. This is just kind of a bird's eye view. Okay, see 2 clients per week. I'm still seeing clients. Average 25 clients per clinician at window per session, 50% split with therapists. I don't know why the cost from the business is so low. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Oh, get out here with your judgment. This is just behind the scenes. Owners sees 10 clients per week. So it has to be done at some point. It has to be redone every quarter. $125,000. I'm already like kind of mixed up or confused. 5 clinician group practice. All this makes sense. I trust these numbers. Yeah. 20 courses available with 3 instructors, marketer and video producer. Number of subscribers needed, 4,000. 5. Oh, so I had this one like set up right. I don't understand why the other one was like so crazy. Well, 6 quarterly planners, 8 contracts, relationship secured, owner take home. Okay, total expenses. Why are the expenses so much? That's what doesn't make sense. The expenses here were almost 400,000, but the expenses here, they even have the expenses. Okay, I didn't have the expenses, so whatever. Oh wait, wrong one. Yeah, I don't understand the expenses here, but okay. 3-year plan, solo practice. Yeah, not making anything. I don't know how the auto take home is so much. That doesn't make any type of sense. Oh, this would be the year that I would earn my LCSW. Therapist and begin transition, net income. Really entrepreneurs. I don't want to see any clients. Saving 73. Okay, 2,500. I'm really just looking at how many subscribers would I need. 5 to $15 a month. So I'd have to figure out what the tier is going to be, but I don't think that's a now job. And then this is next year. This is soon. Wow. This is like my supervised private practice. So we gotta have that up and running by 2026. I think that's like for 2025. The supervised private practice has got to be up and running. We got to figure out how to do that. If we can accomplish that, it's a huge goal. And by up and running, I mean like all the things set up, but like also with at least 5 clients, like at least some clients. It'd be nice if the condo was taken care of, but I don't know, 10 courses available with me as an instructor. 10 courses of it. That's one thing that I think will be changed. I would say 1 course as instructor and 1 video editor producer. No, not even a video editor, just me as instructor. That's one thing that would change for sure. 2,200 subscribers. I wonder if I can have a free subscription. I should be able to. 16,000 under take home. Okay. At least like the number of subscribers moves up steadily. So 4th quarter plan. Solo practice. Well, okay. So I was going to say by the 4th quarter, I was going to have a solo practice set up. Was the goal by October 1st. Exam pass, LMSW secured, supervised private practice established, and seeing 10 clients per week at $100 per session on average. And kind of a marketing goal of doing 15 presentations to schools, government entities, businesses on relevant topics. And then net income pace, like pace for $72,000 a year, owner take home $55K, expenses pace $15,000 a year. So not that I'm going to hit that, but that I'm like pacing towards that. Okay. No, still just 1 course. I would say like maybe 3 courses actually. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll just say 2 courses available free. I will say 3. Because it's the 2 free courses the 2 free courses I have on there already, plus 1 paid course. I think that's where we'd start. Nope. 2 free, 1 paid. That's what I would want. Maybe 2. Okay. I think this would be a waste of time, to be honest. I'm having less and less faith in the IOP, to be honest with you. But I do see a sort of like maybe like intensive course that's like 12 sessions that is very much like an IOP, like but geared towards the target population. Like as we discover what their issue, like what their main challenge is, it's like, okay, well then we'll do that. Okay, July 1st. So this is what I had, which this is going to change. So July 1st to September 25th. That's this upcoming quarter. So during this quarter, the goals are LMSW secured, exam passed, supervised private practice established with oversight, seeing 5 clients per. So everything's set up there. 5 presentations made. So doing some marketing, and I would say 3 courses here. And I think this is number 1. 2 free, 1 paid. Yeah, thank you. Okay, that's possible. I don't think it's really gonna. I don't know. I mean, maybe. If I the thing that the trigger to start doing offers is I have to have some sort of package to give them. You know. For the price of one therapy session, you can get all this. One course. Okay. So this is all based off of what I have right now and where I think I can realistically get to. You can say all courses. Yep. Got that. 25. Okay. So I think the online course, this is my main objective for this quarter, to be honest with you, is the online. I think that has like the most. But at the same time, like this might change. I'm gonna have to have another meeting. Okay. Now, let's talk about um this quarter. Oh shoot, you know what I didn't do? I didn't share. I've been going through this whole thing not sharing. My bad. Live chat's unavailable? That's whack. What if it's here? Hmm. Okay, quarter two. Okay. Well, we did this. We did the LMSW exam scheduled. So good. Is there like a cross out function? Mm. Nope, didn't get the presentation done. Didn't even create the list of 50 schools. But I did create a big list. Yeah, of like schools, businesses, like different things. But the list doesn't matter as much. And this is like a list of places that I would go to in person and try to develop a relationship with and tell them that, I do mental fitness coaching for students who need help with procrastination. That's basically it. And give them a whole list of like what I help them with. Yeah, and just say like I can be another support. But honestly, they can just do the courses, 2 free courses that they can just do, and then just give them a flyer for like 2 free courses. And then if they're not down with that, or if they're not into that, there's also a subscription model that's just $5 a month, and you upload new courses, every week or every month or something like that. It's just $5 a month, so it's not that big a deal. You're just paying $5 for a course, and they're helpful. Online course subscription model, one paid. But I think I have the 2 courses, so I just need the one paid one, and then you'll be good. So yep. Okay, so I didn't get the one paid one done. I mean, I think a lot of that. I think the first challenge, the first issue. So let's do the O list, right? Number 1, I did not fully create a. Okay, need to create a niche service and my ideal. To provide my ideal client what their pain point is. struggle and what their dream outcome is. Then I to create a solution, something that will get them that dream outcome. That's what I need to do. That's the first on the list item. That's big. Okay. Okay. Which I think this is going to be like one big thing. I need a product to give to audience that will help them with their struggle. We'll say their struggle slash. I'm not sure what I want to call it, but the quarterly plan. So we have the book mental strength for the rest of us, which is fine, but I just don't like it. Wasn't what I didn't really go through. I was rushing it, and it was just fast, and I just don't think it's that great. That could change your whole perspective on life. The purpose-driven mindset. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Purpose-driven. I think motivational speakers say right before they tell me to everything I own and live on a mountain. And the problem with this book is that there's not a well, I guess there's like advertisements of different things, which is pretty cool. That's smart. I probably should have said. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about any of it. Is this thing full? There's no way. Oh, no, this is empty. Okay, I was gonna say like what? I don't remember filling that up. Anyway, I just need a product that I can give them, and I don't think mental strength for the rest of us is the right product for that. It's not the best product. I would rather have a planner, something they can use because I can formulate a presentation around the planner, teaching them how to like, hey, this is a planner, this is how you use it. You know, this is how it can be useful, and take them through this whole process of developing their 5-year plan and breaking that all the way down to the next week. Because that's how I want to take them from the 5-year plan, and then they create a roadmap to their current moment, their current week, and I think that's a useful presentation for anybody going into school. It's like, oh, okay, now what do I want to do? Like, what I want to do after I graduate, and then the 1 to 2 years after. If they graduate in 2 years, they graduate in 3 years, they graduate in 4 years, and then that transition into the next thing. Like, start thinking about that. It doesn't. And the thing about the 5-year plan is that it doesn't have to be specific. You know, just like it could I think it could still be vague. Because I think if you're retouching it every quarter, it's going to get a little clear. Because I really don't know still. Like the IOP seems crazy. I'm like, I'm kind of not liking it anymore. There's other things that I could do. Anyway, online course subscription model. So LMSW, I am scheduled for it. I don't know if I'm prepared to test, but I think I might be prepared to test. These other things didn't happen. I did do this, create a list of schools and businesses. Problem with that is that there's just no real audience that I'm confident with yet. Anyway, online course subscription model. So 2 free courses are done. I think I was done last quarter, but the paid one isn't, and that's a big problem. That was a big problem. I think one issue is did not meet weekly to track progress. No, I think that's a big one. There's been no accountability this last quarter at all. And I honestly, it's been since we started this quarter 1 and quarter 2, like meetings have sucked. And I think that's normal, even like with working at my job, like working there. I remember when meetings sucked. I mean, we would just hardly ever do them, especially with the owner. Especially like we would start. I remember we would start like me and her had like weekly meetings for a little while, but I really had to try hard to get her to come to those meetings. Like I just couldn't get her to do it. So after a while, I just thought I was like, I knew this would fall off with her. One thing I'm surprised at is that she comes to most of the leadership meetings. Yep, it's like she comes to most of those. It's pretty impressive, actually. It's a huge change in her that she comes to those meetings regularly. But for me, and Better Therapy Now, like I should have been meeting weekly, and I think a lot of this would have been a lot clearer if I would have just sat down for an hour, looked at everything, looked at least like what was I supposed to accomplish, what did I not accomplish, and why, and like what projects are like taking forever to do. Like the planner should have been done forever ago. It's not that big of a project, but it didn't happen. But for some reason, somehow I got the mental strength for the rest of us done, even though I think it was done pretty poorly, but it was like good enough. And then I even almost did the audiobook, but the audio itself sucked, so I never like followed through with that. But I don't know. There's just certain things came through and certain things didn't. Let's see. So no plan, 5 offers made, no offers made. So none of this complete 14-day, did not complete 14-day filmmaker. It just wasn't, it didn't seem useful because I don't feel like I need it. Like as I was doing it and they were talking about it, it seemed much more tailored to people who want to make films. If you're just doing talking head videos, I feel like I think YouTube, just free YouTube is good enough. I don't think that's going to give you what you need, which I think is interesting too, because I paid so I want to do something similar that he's doing, sell online courses. The way that the 14-day filmmaker is doing it is he's just like sending advertisements to everybody, any and everybody. If you look up like how to make a YouTube video, like his stuff's going to come up. You're going to see 14-day filmmaker, and he has a specific course for people doing films on their phones, but his course is low cost. So $48, like you can take a chance on it. It's not going to break the bank. But he probably has to spend a ton of money on advertising because he pops up everywhere. He's all over the place. And on like every social media platform, I see him pop. Facebook for sure. I don't know if I see him on Instagram. I probably do see him on Instagram. I don't think I see him on TikTok. And then of course YouTube. Whereas like I think my method would be a higher ticket item, which I don't know how to figure out pricing, but a higher ticket item, but a smaller number of sales. Because if it's like $225, well, then you have to sell like 1,500 to get to my goal. But if it's like, $25, then you have to sell thousands and you have to sell basically 8 times, 10 times that, 10 times, 1,300. So that means if you're thinking you're going to convert out of like 100 people that see it, one actually buys, you're going to have to get that thing in front of 200,000 people, So it's like, how do you get it in front of 200,000 people? That's a lot of people. And in order to convert the sale, it would have to be like, it would have to be very clear, like what I'm doing. What else? But if I say I developed a course and charged 1,250, well, then at that point, you only need to sell like 300 to get to the goal. So it kind of depends on what I'm offering, what type of bonus is going to be a part of it. And at the end, I think I won't be able to give it price until I really get the outline. The outline, and the outline will only come after I identify the major pain point. And I won't identify the major pain point until I identify like a very clear, specific avatar. So those are kind of the challenges. Okay. So you can tell my last meeting was freaking for the May 4th to May 10th. And I think this was a to-do. Yep. These are all to-dos. I probably did this. At some point I did this. Oh, that. See, never did that. See, it's crazy. May. The beginning of May, like the middle of May. We'll say this meeting probably happened May 11th or 12th or something. Or maybe it happened May 10th. Nope. Did not go through. So this is kind of so this is like the change. So we need to figure out, these are the things that we need to figure out. basically. This is kind of our O&O list. Where I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it on the quarterly meeting. Well, okay. That share. Okay, so that's the past. We'll say the major issues. I still don't have an ideal client, but I'm very close to that. And it's kind of like a three-part thing. I need to identify the ideal client. I need to identify what their major pain point is. And what's important is their major pain point that I think I can address. And then I need to think about what is their dream outcome. I think the dream outcome is hard because I've identified that procrastination is a major pain point for students. And I'm thinking that business students are the number one person I would want to work with. I'd be very interested in working with business students. And then I need to, yeah, so major pain point could be procrastination. It's just I kind of what, in terms of what I think I could help with. They have a lot of different issues that they have, right? A lot of different challenges, all types of stuff. But the thing that I could I could probably help with is procrastination. How do you how do you get shit done and not procrastinate on it? So there's that. And then, but I'm like, how do you communicate a dream outcome? What is a dream outcome? And then how do I communicate that in the best way? If I can just figure out what the dream outcome is that relates to procrastination, then there we go. And it might not be, maybe it's something like completely different, but like working on time management is like a major part of the solution. So the course is presented in one way, but a lot of things I'm working on is like time management stuff, which I think is legitimate. I think that's okay. Anyway, so there's that. I have to figure out a solution. So I think we'll put that next. So those four things. Okay. Then so I don't have so I think another big issue that I need to solve today is I need a tangible product to give to the audience that helps them with their struggle. I need something very specific that helps them with their struggle. And maybe it's a couple of things. I think this daily planner will be one big thing, but I think I'll do the daily planner and then that will be kind of like my outline, and I'll publish that and go through the whole process of it so that we're good. Then I have something, right? But I'll redo that planner so that it's tailored towards my avatar specifically, right? And then we can do that. And then also, I think the number one thing that we can do this quarter that will be a huge game changer is meeting every single week for at least an hour. Like that, I think will be the biggest game changer of everything. Like if I can do that, I'd be in a fantastic place. So there we go. I'm gonna figure out how to go on, take a little quick break here. And then, so that's the 5-year plan, review issues with last quarter. We have our 4 issues on our O&O list, what worked and what didn't. What did work? So what are some good things that we did? So this is what didn't work. I would say what worked, I don't know. So I think the number one thing that worked that was very helpful was Oak Journal. I think Oak Journal has been kind of the star of my team for a while. The Oak Journal has been really, really, really good and really, really helpful. But the thing that I'm not using it completely, but yeah. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to the bathroom and I'll be right back. Holy shit, that's funny. Oh, there's people actually here. Oh. It's fine. Okay, back from the bathroom break. Okay. So what worked this semester or this quarter? I'd say the Oak Journal was number one. So we'll continue that, but this will soon be replaced by my productivity planner. But for now, we have the Oak Journal. What else worked? Yeah, that's another thing that didn't work, but I'll say there's one thing that worked, and this is probably number one. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's really it. So next time we need to get more things that work. Basically, is all I'm saying. Like these like this. Here we go. Oh shoot! I forgot to share this again. I keep forgetting to share stuff. Yeah. Okay. So what didn't work? Need to identify my ideal client, their struggle, and their dream outcome. I need to create something that will get them to that dream outcome. After that, um, didn't even get close to this. And this these two bullet points were a big reason why another course wasn't made. This was the biggest reason. Um, but yeah, if I had a very good idea of this, then I could have. So I'm gonna spend a lot of time this quarter really thinking through like who my ideal client is, really who do I want to work with, which I got an idea of who I want. It keeps going back to the same person. So I have an idea of who I want to work with. So now it's like, well, what are some of their struggles and which one of those struggles can I help with? So that's kind of where we're at with that. Um, Another one, and this is less important, but I didn't have a tangible product to give any type of audience that I would potentially have. And I think that's a big issue. Um, but that's less important. But I think I will have fun creating a planner or two this quarter. I want to get at least one planner done, if not two. One general done just to go through the process. We've already gone through the process of writing a book, so now it's time to go through the process of doing a journal, and then we also want to create a workbook that is publishable, and then yeah, do all that. Didn't me, gosh, weekly meetings. I don't know what to do about that. I feel like the Oak Journal helped me have daily meetings because that's kind of what it was. I would stop in the morning, every single morning, even record it, and go through my day and figure out what I'm going to do for the day. But when it came to the weekly meeting, which is more important because it's more of like almost like an hour meditation or an hour and a half meditation of like, what do we need to do? How can we get to the next phase? Where are we at with our rocks? Um, we didn't have rocks. There's so many issues, man. We did not have rocks for the quarter. They weren't. If we did, they weren't clear. Like they were not clear. I think the only thing that was really, really good this year or this quarter is Oak Journal. Oak Journal like carried us. That was it. If it wasn't for that, I think I'd be lost. I think I'd really be lost. It maintained a gratitude practice. It maintained journaling. It maintained like tasks. I could see the tasks had visibility. Yeah, the quarterly rocks were really good. I mean, the Oak Journal was good. We just need to use it better. So I don't know. There you go. I can't think of anything else that worked. All right. So that's that portion. We've been about an hour so far. So we'll go ahead and take a little bit of break, get a snackety snack. Is this plugged? Okay, that's plugged in. Good. And then I'll try to figure out how to go on Facebook Live. So I have 9:33. We'll start again at 9:40. Am I live? I'm not sure how to do this. Mm. Awesome. Oh, all right. I think I'm live. All right. Almost done. Let me just get a drink real quick. I'll be right back. Mm. All right. Mm. All right. Oh, all right. So this next section, I just read a couple of books, and it gave me a lot of ideas. And this next section is really It's going to help us do two things. It's going to help me identify one, an ideal client. It'll take me closer to that, or at least it'll give me a list of what I need to do to kind of fine tune the ideal client as I see it. And we're going to do that by just going over a big list of documents or brainstorm list that I came up with. Well, ChatGPT, that worked a lot. Let me see. So we're going to go through, I'm going to stop the share on YouTube. Go back to this. There we go. There we go. Got my Capri Sun. Okay, so the first one is, I'm going to put them number one as I go through them. But the first one is problems business college students have that a course can fix. So you're going to hear a lot of business college students. There's a couple of reasons. I'm thinking that business college students are going to be my ideal client. I think so. And I think the problem I'm going to end up helping them with is procrastination, and doing that by addressing habits and time management primarily. And then secondarily, probably like core values and purpose, but that won't really be a part of the pitch. Let me see. Let me just kind of go through this. I wonder if this part shows up on the, no, it doesn't. Okay. So within this document, I went through it yesterday and found quite a few things that I like. So some of the problems, pain points: burnout from overcommitting to tasks, juggling hard and soft skill development, starting side businesses without support systems, imposter syndrome in competitive cohorts, and then overwhelmed by group projects and presentations. And then the last one that I think, last two problems or pain points are lack of intrinsic motivation, and then fear of falling behind peers. And then everything else on below that isn't as, I think, important. But really, but those kind of 6 things are big. So I do like this one as number one so far. See what else we have. Okay, so the pitch brainstorm is actually in response to a video that I haven't watched yet. But basically what I was brainstorming in that was like how I'm gonna present the core, or like what I do, right? Like I help blank with who are struggling with blank so they can do blank. What that is, like I help blank. That first blank is my ideal audience, right? My avatar. So I help business college students who are struggling with balancing school and side hustles, achieve some type of dream outcome. I don't know. That's what that is. I don't think that's number 2. That's like down further on the list. All right, Gillian Perkins, How to Create an Online Course That Sells. This is okay. This says what a lot of things have told me, whether it's Daniel Priestley or Alex Hormozy or whatever, just using different words. There is one thing that Gillian Perkins that she emphasizes that others don't as much. Let me see where it's at. Just the talking to real people part, and not that other people don't talk about that. Which I believe Alex Hormozi, everybody says to talk to real people, but she really emphasizes that and emphasizes a beta launch. And she's not the only one. The person that does the My Pitch Brainstorm video also does that. But the idea behind this is beginning to sell your course before you make the course. And then figure out a way to talk to real people so that you can get a good idea of their desires, motivations, and obstacles. And so that you know what language they speak with. So coming up with ways to do, I think my meetup groups is a way to do that. So that might be a rock in the future. Like one of my rocks is like do 3 events, or do 2 meetup events, and then do like 2 in-person events to get an idea of where these pain points are, and just go from there. Oh, and then another thing that she talks. So I think these are the 3. So there's talk to real people. That's big. I'd say this is number. Whoa, what just happened? The beta launch, and then the whole one-to-one. Figure out how to sell it like in person, rather than trying to sell it. Yeah, I think this is good stuff. Yeah, so the Gillian Perkins document, the 3 main things is talking to real people so that you can speak their language, doing a beta launch, which is teaching lessons each week as live videos, and before you've even made the course. So like as you're making the course, you're teaching live videos of how to do certain things, and then doing one-to-one marketing to sell it. So I think the meetup groups could be like a course. Like I could design a short course that's like a half hour, right? A half hour talk with like the way I see it is like a 15-minute kind of presentation with questions and answers at the end of it. And then people can just like talk, but it's just hard to get people to attend. I think I had one meetup that was like business networking, and it was like behavioral health and mental health business networking, but like only a couple people have come. And then I had one for teenagers, but nobody really came. I think Carla had a couple people come, but it was like her relatives, and that was it. So besides that, I haven't really successfully had anybody. So I think that's a challenge that we have to like address. So yeah, but I like this one. I like this one as number 2. That number 1, we'll put this as number 2 so far. Okay. Affiliates brainstorming list. This one is definitely not up there for sure. We're not there yet. Affiliates, because this is just like, let me see what this says. Yeah, this is like once I have something built, then I'm gonna go to like this is a step after I have the whole package built, or at least like the core. Like once I make a course that is available online for sale, then I could go to somebody and say, if I get people to, or I get clients that buy this, this product, can I send them your way? Like if they buy my product, they get 50% off at your place. That will get them to see my product as more valuable, and you'll get people walking through the door to try out your product and potentially have a long-term customer. Like that could be really good. I can go to like Cycle Bar. I can go to different types of places, but I think this is only after I finish affiliate brainstorming. This is only after I finish at least the course. Yeah, I have to have a product. Academic pressure and cognitive performance. Let's see what that's about. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is more problems. This is important. Anti-awkward conversation clinics, digital boundary group coaching, yeah, well, dorm mate conflict resilience coaching. Mm, these are the problem with academic pressure and cognitive performance is that it is good. I wonder. This is more about like building the. This is about building this. I think this is still step two. Yeah, I still think this because this is about like, okay, well, what's their once I develop my avatar, then what is their major problem? Which I guess it goes hand in hand. I do like the procrastination boot camp for honor students, evidence-based strategies for high achievers who self-sabotage under perfectionism. Hmm, this is really good. This seems like a big topic, and this almost seems like short courses. It's for athletes who no longer compete. Circles. Okay, I still don't think that's it. Hmm. Okay. Top majors to target. I still don't think academic pressure and kind of performance. Those are, it's too general. Um, but let me see. Top majors to target. So this is where top majors to target is where I identify business schools. Um, business was the one that I like the most. I think another one that could be really good is pre med, um, because pre med is almost like a watering hole for a lot of other majors. I would say business was number one. Pre med and nursing were kind of tied for number two. I think they speak the language a little bit, and I think they are under a lot of pressure, and they're willing to do, especially for pre med, willing to do anything to succeed. They'll take any. I think they'll take whatever resources are offered them, and and if they're working too, that's a added thing that they have to do. And then nursing, for some, I just feel like nurses would be like people going into nursing would be open to it. I think they'd be humble enough to try. Psychology majors speak the language, so I think they'd be open to it. And the engineering is just like really tough, and there's a big pool of people. Other ones, I don't know. Law, theater, who knows? I don't see any of those being big ones. But the number one that I found was business, finance, accounting, economics. High achievers focus on ROI, often networking driven, great for lunch and learns and mindset coaching. I think that the emphasis on mindset is really good, and I think lunch and learns can be really good. I think I'd have a lot of potential to target like fraternities and sororities, um, like business school groups, clubs, things like that. Like doing lunch and learns, presentations, giving them free planners, giving them merch. I just have to figure out how I'm going to afford to buy merch, but if the condo gets resolved, that's another like 900, 800 bucks a month. I'd be good. You know, I'd be able to buy a little bit of merch to give out. I could give out some pins at least, about something. But I think the top majors have already has already been identified, so that's why I don't really See that one as a top one? Okay, highly sellable topics. Let's talk about this one. Okay, highly sellable topics, high pain, high demand, broad appeal. Okay, so this one right here, highly sellable topics, this is what got me to choose procrastination. It was very convincing. It says these are core human struggles that almost everyone experiences, especially professionals, students, and creatives. They tap into strong emotions and are excellent for both subscription content and upselling coaching. Procrastination on important goals. It's been common and frustrating. People constantly search for ways to overcome procrastination. So I really like that. This is like where the course seems to be going. It seems to be going because it encapsulates so many other things. Overwhelm from endless to-do lists. Yep. Modern epidemic, high demand for clarity and structure. Part of it could be negative self-talk, could be in that burnout from overcommitting. Um, Inconsistent habits. I think that's a big one. Like all five of those seem really, really, really good. But like it's like you can talk about the course I eventually make. I think we'll talk about a whole lot of things, but it's like how do you sell it to people? Like what is going to be the face of it? Out of all these issues, what's going to be the face of that issue? Is it going to be procrastination? Is it going to be, goal accomplishment? Is it going to be overwhelm? Is it going to be negative self-talk? Is it going to be burnout? Is it going to be like inconsistent habits? Like what's going to be the face of it? And right now the face seems to be procrastination. That's what it seems to be. Either procrastination or maybe time management, but time management doesn't speak to a pain point. Um, I think procrastination does. These topics are relatable, but not even procrastination. It's like getting stuff done is like the real pain point, you know? Yeah, I want more niche. These topics are relatable and valuable, but may not be the initial hook that sells a course. However, they make great modules, bonus content, or coaching focused area. Feel of failure or success. Poor time management, high search volume, but slightly oversaturated. Works well bundled with other productivity issues. Okay. Difficult. So they're saying time management bundles well with other productivity issues. I like it. Um, okay. Lack of follow through. Inability to stay motivated long term. Symptom, not a root. Perfectionism. Bottom tier. And that's what I'm thinking. Like, but I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to bundle. I think procrastination is going to be part of that bundle. I think time management is going to be part of that bundle. I think like lack of follow through and inconsistent habits will be part of that bundle. Um, but it's just I'm just trying to figure out how to like uh, sell it. But I do like this one. I would say this one's going to be um, so highly sellable topics. We'll make this one. This one could be number 2 now. And Gillian perks can be number 3. Yes, it's very helpful. Okay. Top majors, we kind of have that. Best bundles. Let's figure out what that is. All right. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, so I had some, but I'll share this part. I don't think this is. I'll share the best bundles. Wait, 4 hours. Best bundles from stuck to started. Target audience: procrastinators, dreamers, overthinkers. Struggles it solves: procrastination on important goals, fear of failure, success, decision fatigue, not knowing how to change. Tackles the I want to change, but I can't get moving block. It's motivating, actionable. Okay. Finish what you start. I like all these. The focus and follow through formula. Target audience: busy professionals and high performers. Poor time management. Disconnection from purpose. Yeah, this is going to be a big one. I like this one a lot. Best bundles. Match your mindset. Mm, mm, I do like this one. Time Warner Toolkit. I actually like this one better. Because it's, well, I mean, like, it's like, what do I think I can help with the most? Can I help with from not even starting to starting something? Or can I help better with somebody started something, but like, how do you finish it? You know? Or is it like, I think both of these, from stuck to started and then finish what you start. Both those are really good. Uh, yeah, these first five are really good. Everything else I don't like. Habit Reboot, no. I just feel like anything about habits is like, they're just going to read Atomic Habits or like The Power of Habit, and that's going to be it. So I like these five. These first five are really good. Basically, I want them. I want where I want to help is somebody that has like a specific goal, and they just need help like getting to the finish line, and they're doing it in the midst of work and school and everything. So these first six, sorry, these first six are really good. I like that. I really like. I think this is probably number one, to be honest. Yeah, this is probably number one. Where's it at? Best bundles. Oh shit. What is it? Okay, it's okay. All right, I'm gonna stop this. I'm very happy that I went through this one. Let me get out of this one. Let me go to the. We're doing example 2. Let's get it. Open this one up. Example 2 on Google Doc. This is a brainstorm list that I came up with from Stuck to Started Mental. Okay, this is just a course. It took one of the ideas from the best bundle, so that's good. Each video solves a core procrastination problem for college and grad students. Okay, I know what I should do, but I can't get started. Problem, inability to start despite knowing what to do. Solution, the 10-minute rule and activation techniques. Teaches students how to get started without waiting to feel ready. Start one task for just 10 minutes today. That's what you do. Okay. I wait until the last minute every time. Chronic last minute rush and deadline panic. Okay. I feel overwhelmed. I like all these. But you know what? There's a list of books that I do want to do, that I want to review. This example is great. This example is great. This helps. I think what's going to really help me a lot. Let me see the next example. I like this. This example 1 with the I can't see it, but yeah, or sorry, example 1. So it's another from Stuck to Started mental fitness course, the beat procrastination with time management tools. But it gives you like a idea to like a tool or a download they should have for each video. I think that's really cool. That's really good. Okay. This is just marketing after I already did it. Collaborate on campus so we go viral. Yeah. Host free events with food and value. Tap into career-oriented clubs. Email lists and student portals. Yeah, all that stuff. But that's like after it's some part of the package is done. Okay, this is important. Dream outcome for business students balancing school and work. Let's share this one. Okay. So let me see what I have. Take control of your time like a future. That's what I like about this one is that like a future. It says things that speaks the language of a business student a little bit. Stay on top of deadlines, balance your job, and still find time to breathe. Be the student who always looks organized. The schedule in the room. That's huge. Like that's huge. I like this one a lot. I don't know if this like addresses any sort of problem. Which one is this anyway? Yeah, dream outcomes. I like it. I would say this is like 2. We'll call this 2A. I don't want to. We'll call it 2. I'll have 2 threes. I like this one. Okay. Where are we at? Okay, I don't know if this 475K example. Just so you know, 475K is the goal, right? Ooh. I like this a lot, to be honest. Yeah, this is pretty cool. But this is like once I think you'll revisit this. There's a couple that like I'm gonna revisit. Um, I'll just put this as number 4 because this is our number 5. This is like this is one that I like. It's like immediately after I'm done with everything, I'm revisiting it. That's a good one. It just had like a nice outline of everything I can do. The funnel step by step to 475. Let's see what that is. Why the end? It's dumb. Well, I don't know how to. Facebook's hard, but whatever.
If you're a successful man who
You're a successful man who. So annoying. Anyway. Um, sales page, main offer. This is like the funnel. I like this a lot. The funnel makes a lot of sense. Um, it's just the funnels. It'll have to be fine tuned after I kind of figure out like who my ideal person. It's getting clearer and clearer though. So I'll make this number 6. Cool. All right. So that's the funnel. How to inform students. More ideas. I think we've targeted everything. I think we've hit everything. Okay, so there's more ideas to tailor it. And that's what's important. I think the more we tailor it to a specific person, the better we'll be. Exactly. Yeah. And always speak like who does a business student want to be? I think that's what you have to start asking. Like, who does a business student want to be? They want to be somebody that's along the lines of what I'm selling. Yeah. MBA level weekly planning template after B school time blocking. Yes. Interview week planner helps them balance test prep and mock interviews. Finance intern. Here's your 5 a.m. routine template. Specific lifestyle tips based on business career paths. I like all this. This is great. Okay. Oh, yeah, I need more ideas to a service. That's really good. I'll make that. Also, bundles. I'll make like a number 3. The idea is it's hard to. Oh, more ideas. Sorry. Let's make that another number 3. Okay. Okay. So now that we have an idea of the top 3, I think the next task that we need to do when it comes to do outs. Now let's go back to sharing, quarterly meeting. Okay. O&O list. I'll say, I don't even know what works, but that's what I put there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so I think very specific avatar, who I will sell my product to. What they need a painful problem. They need a dream outcome. They need to be easy to find. That's good. I'm talking about AC because it's really cold. Wait. Sweats. This is kind of fun. Don't know why I don't do it every week. So those are the big things that I need. Okay. So this is like almost like to do, right? Next. For a course. Okay. Three. You need to, I'll say a major product will aid them. And then four, I would say anywhere between grade 2 to freaking 20 bonuses. I don't know how many bonuses they need. I don't think 2 to 20. I think 2 to 5 bonuses or more, to be honest. 2 to 5 bonuses. These are big. I think these are if you so review all documents for course. Okay. So that really addressed that first one, in the second one, in the third one. Meeting weekly is just, we just have to do it. And then now we need to really use the Oak Journal thoroughly until we create our own like planner. You know, we have to create our rocks. Yeah. Okay. So what now we're here at number 8. We've create opportunities. That's this list right here. Opportunities and obstacles, right? Prioritize. It's already kind of prioritized. There's not that many of them. Now we need 3 to 4 rocks with milestones for each rock. What just happened? I don't know. But rock number 1. No problem. We'll write this down. Now, 1. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All 8 lists have been reviewed. It's milestone 1. 2. The course workbook will describe this avatar in the introduction. There you go. This is how we know it's done. It is done. Main threat, changing the avatar repeatedly. Just pick an avatar and stick with it. I think that's my biggest problem, is that I'm going to come up with like business college students who also work, and then like during the process of making everything, I'm going to come up with every reason that they can't like do it. That's why I don't think you should say work. Just like, I mean, it is work, but busy business college students balancing life and school. Yeah. It might be that, but I think this has to be a transformative course. Yeah, because I want it to be a higher ticket that comes with like individual like support, you know, like group meetings and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you sell. Okay, so this is the first rock. What's happening there? It's annoying. Rock one. Okay. Once you okay, I think you have to. I think the next one is identify their problem. Create. Cool. Now your core offer is there. Rock three. Publish on QB. There we go. That's a good rock. If you get those three things done, I think that's pretty good. All right. So these are your four So our four rocks, or three rocks anyway, identify a specific avatar with a specific problem that I will solve. Milestone 1, all 8 brainstorm lists have been reviewed. That's here. Milestone 2, the course workbook will describe this avatar in the introduction. This is how we know it's done. Um, Rock 2, create an online course and publish on Podia or School. Largely depending on what happens with the condo. If I'm still paying that extra $1,100 or $1,200 or whatever I'm paying a month. Milestone 1 will be creating an outline to the course. Milestone 2, create the workbook. And milestone 3, record and upload the course to Podia or School. And really, Rock 2 can't be started until Rock 1 is complete. Rock 3, create and publish the productivity playbook, which we can just kind of work on. Complete the quarterly planning portion. Also to complete the 5-year plan portion. Complete the Canva copy, which is what I'm working on now. And then 4, publish on Amazon KDP and order 10 copies. That's how we'll know it's done. We have the copies in hand. So we need to put this on our weekly, basically my weekly sheet. Weekly meeting pulse, 2025 meetings, July 2025, and meeting 1. When's our next meeting going to be? So our next meeting, we'll do them every Sunday. So our next meeting is going to be July 6th. So yeah, actually, let me stop sharing. So I'm going to take this thing, boom. These are our rocks. If we get these things done, this gets me closer to where I want to be. What? Oh, what? Review rocks. We have to pull up bloom growth, actually. I'm trying to model this after bloom growth. I would love to. Segue, rocks. Scorecard, which we have to figure out what measurables. I think that's an important thing to talk about. So, measurables. What are our measurables? I don't really know. I'll say this is like 25%. I'll say this is like 20. I think we're at like 50%, to be honest. Yeah, I think we're close. That is actually close. I'm really feeling the business student. I think they'll buy it. I think they will like this. Um, yeah, I'm feeling it. And I think if I can speak their language, it will create some drive. So I have some faith in that. So it's good. Okay, good. So we have rocks, we have that. Let me show you the weekly plan. This is the thing that I think. Oh, yeah. No. Okay, hold on. Another measurable. How many meetings will we go in? 100. Let's say 100% of weekly meetings conducted, and that's rock number 4. Honestly. Um, how many meetings are we going to have between? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 meetings. So 13 meetings. So far, 0 out of 13. That's an important one. I think it'll make a huge difference. I do. And then another possible rock is let me see if I highlight the rocks, which makes it funny. But another possible rock that's basically it. And milestones might be like what else would I do? I don't know what else I would do. Watch all it. That would be it. That's if we don't pass, which I don't think I'm going to pass it, but I might pass it. I'm like neck and neck with it. I don't really know. I don't really know. Yeah, the LMSW exam, I didn't study as much as I wish I would have, but what are you going to do? I'll take it this Wednesday and see what happens, and we'll just kind of go from there. Well, it's been 2 hours, 2 hours and 14 minutes. We've been doing pretty good. Let me show you the weekly. So this is the agenda for next week. Our first meeting will be the 6th of July next week. 6th of July. And basically we'll do an opener. So what have I done to improve my diet in the last week? Openers are really meant to just like kind of, I don't know, build relationships, get you to know each other better, stuff like that. We'll review the rocks and the milestones. we'll go over the scorecard, and then weekly to-dos. I feel like the scorecard is, I don't even know. Okay, so this is to-dos for next week. All right, so what do we have? With list of 5 problems yes. There we go. I would just say review all 8. Oh, finish. Day portion planner. Prompts. I think that's really all I could do. And then take exam. That's it. And review flashcards. There you go. It's probably the best I can do. All right. June 6th to June 12th. Oh, July 6th to July 12th. To July 12th. Okay. So our to-dos for this week will be I'll be measured on this. Percentage of course completed, percentage of productivity playbook completed, which are at 25%, 8 brainstorming lists reviewed. I have 0 of 8. Percentage of avatar completed. Right now, I think I'm at 50%. 100% of weekly meetings conducted. I want to. Another to do for this week is just. I don't really want to do that. Yeah, just we gotta put it somewhere. But, yeah, we'll put it somewhere. That's not a big deal. But yeah, I think create a meetup event for business students specifically. July. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Yeah, and then we'll have the wrap up. So that's gonna be next. So my to-dos for this week: review the 8 brainstorming lists, which we just went through all the brainstorming lists, and now we're gonna review just those last 8. Finish 90-day portion planner, all journal prompts. That'll be fun. I'll get that done. take the ASWB exam. That's going to be Wednesday. Memorize 50% of written flashcards. This is for the potential Rock 4. Now, if we pass, we erase the Rock 4. And we have to redo this portion of the meeting to come up with a different rock, and then create a meetup event for business students who procrastinate. Set for mid-July. Gives me some time to some educational material, get some feedback, questions, blah, blah, and go from there. And we got to start doing this like on a regular basis. What's this? Smart. Boom. Okay, let's stop that share. That's prepped and ready to go. Let me give it a title. Just July 6th meeting or something. I don't know. That's what I'm doing it. Okay. So I'll stop. Let's see what else we got. So that's set up. Let's go back to the quarterly meeting. This is good. We're good with this. Okay, 100%. Okay, we got all that done. I did add a rock. I think LSW maybe. All right, close out. How do you, so close out, the way we do it at work is like, I guess one favorite thing or one word emotion, and then favorite part of today's meeting. So I'll say one. The thing about when I do this at work is that my one word emotion is always a lie, because I don't want to like have like bad vibes or be like, oh, exhausted, or oh, I'm like, I hate this, or. But with mine, I can like be a little more honest, I guess, because I feel safe. Like, no, you never. I never feel comfortable like being like honest at work. So I'm like, they're gonna hold it against you, and then they'll fire you. They legit will. I know, and I'm barely making it right now. I can't afford to be fired. Like, I'd be done. Yeah, heck no. There's no way. I don't know what they're talking about. I've never believed in that. At work, like, no, you go there to work. Like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. Yeah, that's definitely not me. But my one word emotion today, geez. I think clarity. I don't think that's an emotion, but like I have way more clarity now. Like I think like everything was reality tested. You know, the thing that I even not even clarity, like optimistic, because I thought that everything would be like down, like go way less, as a result, but no, I think we're looking really good. I think the to-dos are a lot more realistic now. I do need to add one. I need to go through my in-depth to-dos, but I'm not even really concerned about that. We can do that like next quarterly meeting. Maybe that quarterly meeting will be 3 hours instead of just this many hours. Instead of just like 2.5 hours. But yeah, I do need to go through, so there's like 5-year plans, and then there's all of these. And I need to go through year one. Oh, there's not even anything in there. But I have something in here. That's weird. Okay, whatever. Online course business review. Yep, solo individual practice business review. And then you open this thing up. Yeah, they're very like in depth. Well, I guess not really. So that's something that we can really like kind of play with and correct. Anyway, um, so yeah, optimistic. Like I have more clarity. Things weren't like in terms of like my earning potential and where I want to be at. Wasn't decreased a whole lot or really at all, to be honest. Like there's still a possibility. And the more that I learn about things, the more, about the online course world and how to sell, especially the psychology of selling, the more optimistic I get about everything. So everything, like I get a lot more feelings of like, oh, this could actually happen versus feelings like, oh, this isn't even possible. So that's good. Favorite part of today, I think my favorite part was establishing the rocks. I think these rocks are like a big thing about it. And we talk about this in like my work meeting too, is that when it comes to making rocks, when you look at the end of the quarter, it takes practice to create a good rock for your business. It takes a lot of practice. You have to kind of go through it um, and kind of establish them. You have these ideas of what you think you can accomplish, and then when it comes to the 3 months of trying to do it, you don't accomplish them. And it's very hard to have a culture of accountability when it's just you. You know, it's real tough to have that. I think I might meet with Score again. Like Score could be like my business coach because that's the only thing I can, because it's free. I really should reach out to them um, and just start talking to them. But they always give me like things that they want me to do that I'm like, I don't really want to do this. Like I have my own way of doing it and it makes sense to me. Like, why do you want me to do that? You know? But but yeah, I think I'm gonna reach back out to them and like that could be my way of like holding myself accountable and see how we can do this, make this work. But the mental fitness coaching geared towards business students, like what I've noticed, and the reason why I loved creating the rocks and like just learn these things is that the people that do the best when it comes to coaching and stuff are actually helping other people start their businesses. And I think that's what, if you do something directed to business students, it's like, oh, okay, this might be a really good niche. Has a lot of potential, especially considering the type of material that I want to talk to people about. And I can see how this can grow, how it can be very niched for nursing students, and then have one for pre-med, and then have one for literature students, and then have one for like all these types of things. Like literature students have to manage their time because they spend these large blocks of time reading, you know so it's like you can have all types of tools for each one of them. You get to learn a lot more about their majors, and it just seems like very exciting stuff. And I like talking to students about college. I think a big reason is because college was like probably my favorite time in my life. Like it was really really fun. High school was fun too, but college was just really interesting. But it could have been so much more. So I always look back on it like, oh, I could have did so much more with that time if I would have had a little more focus, a little better idea of how I learn and what I can accomplish in a day, how to prioritize my tasks. Like if I had that in my tool belt, I probably would have did a lot more and had a much better time because it was crazy. I used to study so much, but I would like not learn anything. And a lot of it was because I was always tired or because I was trying to do too many things in a single day. Like I'm trying to study for all 5 courses in a single day, and that wasn't really conducive to my learning style, you know, or most people's learning style. So I think that's why I'm really like, maybe that's like why this is more important for me because I get to do what I wanted to do originally, which was be a literature professor. So I get to work with students and help them accomplish their dreams, but like in a different way, kind of like my own unique way. And that's what I kind of like about it. Anyway, let me go back. So that was my favorite part of the day. Next meeting. So when is our next meeting? Next quarterly meeting. That's going to be, it's like 10 hours. End of September. I really would like to do it September 28th. That's like the ideal like day, to be honest with you. Okay. And we'll put it on my calendar, September 28th. Doof. Yep. Better therapy now. Meeting 8 a.m. to, we go to noon. I mean, I don't think my meeting needs like 8 hours because it's just me. You know, I mean, it's a little bit easier. But some meetings need 8 hours. All right. That is it. That is Better Therapy Now. I will see you guys next time.